So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna sit here and watch this game. Go ahead and pack your bento box. I'm like, all right. Oh man, it's cool because you get to see the difference girls to boys. Boys, I mean, he's still running into walls. You know, like, dude, how'd you do that? I say that so much, it's like a mantra. How did you do that? Like, really? It's like the Frank and Beans conversation. How'd you get the Frank over the beans? And it's so many things going on in his head. But with her, it's like, this is what I'm doing. I'm getting that done right now. Get out of my way. You always need to be accountable for your actions.
Right.
Just as a person.
Yeah.
So it was a great lesson learned. That was a little while ago. But yeah, hey, I grew up on whoopings. I mean, I saw Roots and I was like, yo, that's my life.
That's crazy.
What's going on, y'all? This is episode 9 of the Triple Left podcast, the Fly Father Fraternity. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Ty.
Marcus.
Dre.
And today we got another banger for you. We got a guest today. He can go ahead and introduce himself.
Richard, and they don't even realize I'm taking the show over.
Oh, yeah.
I'm here.
Oh, yeah.
We got young Richard taking over the show, he says.
I'm probably the oldest one in here.
Yeah?
Your waves say otherwise, brother.
I mean, no, there's some old man waves. Right there. That's like all Murray's.
Okay.
Hey, Murray.
How long you done had that can of Murray's, man?
That's just a one scoop. my
It just been there, huh?
The annual scoop is crazy. That is funny.
Well, with that being said, then I guess a little bit about yourself, how old you are, kids, all that, kind of get into all that stuff.
So I'm 41, 2 kids, son and a daughter. Son is the oldest. Daughter is crazy, tearing the house up in a good way. Married. Me and my wife been together 21 years. 15 married. Took me a little while to get to the altar. We took a little break somewhere in between. So in case somebody's watching that I dated in that break time, I don't want nobody like, yo, playing games. Like, no, hold on, no. I was an idiot. We separated for about a year. And it took God to make me realize, like, get back over there. Got back over there. Got her back. I won't let her go nowhere. Get back over there. And it's been good. It's been good. Life has been good. God has been good. I have no complaints.
That is,
Yeah, amen to that.
Yeah,
having
for
no
real.
complaints is amazing. 21 years, congratulations.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can clap for that. That's 15 married, because you said, you had, but 15, that's still
an accomplishment, yeah.
Yeah. She lets me out to play once in a while. Every once I get to go out the house, So I gotta, check in and go to work.
Yeah.
Is it all right if I making sure, go get that money, all right?
So you say you have 2 kids, right?
Yes.
How old are they? I don't know.
So my son's about to turn 12.
12.
My daughter is already 8. And I'm telling you, my house is rock and rolling. 2 kids, 2
Yeah.
dogs. It's a lot going on in my house.
Oh, man.
It's a whole lot. I'm waiting to come in and just my walls just be tagged up. Somebody carved Stussy on the wall or something. I'm just waiting for all kind of crazy stuff. But
So
it's fun.
we each have 2 kids, but none of our kids are as old as your kids, right? You're
No,
7?
Mark. Yeah, Mark has the closest 7.
7.
Yeah,
Yep.
And 2
stand
months.
by.
Yeah.
Wait, and what?
It's 7. My daughter's 7. My son is 2 months.
Oh man, congrats!
Yeah,
though. That
big
2 month
gap.
stage. I would love to go back to that.
Yeah, it's nice.
Just put them there and stay.
No, really, that's what they be
That
doing.
is-
Staying. Now, your daughter's 8.
Mm-hmm.
How is that? How?
I would let her babysit the 12-year-old. She is way more mature.
Hey,
My
babysitting
daughter-
older is crazy.
That's crazy.
You think I'm playing? We get up in the morning. She's so just organized, gets ready. In fact, she gets her stuff ready the night before. I take inspiration from my daughter. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna sit here and watch this game. Go ahead and pack your bento box. I'm like, all right. Oh man, it's cool because you get to see the difference girls to boys. Boys, I mean, he's 12. He's still running into walls. Like, dude, how'd you do that? I say that so much, it's like a mantra. How did you do that? Like, really? It's like the Frank and Beans conversation. How'd you get the Frank over the beans? And it's so many things going on in his head. But with her, it's like, this is what I'm doing. I'm getting that done right now. Get out of my way. And we do. We're like, all right, handle your business. So
That's crazy.
it's cool. Somebody told me it was called the Emperor's Choice when you have your son before your daughter. And I get it. because when I take him to school, I see him going first. Not because he's not being a gentleman, but he's going in first as a protection. Then when she comes in, then she shifts to the front. But as soon as they get on that campus, they separate. I'm like, okay, well, let's see if I get any phone calls today. Let's see what happens. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm sure, as you all know, having two.
Yeah, mine are super young. So I have one that will be 2 in February, and then I have a 3-month-old. So
And
they're at the stage where they're just...
Yeah, and I got 2 daughters.
So wait, so I am literally the oldest one up in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who okay.
Who's the next?
Who's the closest to me?
Probably me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where you at?
34.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
We all in our 30s over here.
Yeah. Brag about that. Yeah. I'm going to tell you right now. Like, you remember going from 20 to 30. You're like, oh, man, does anything feel different? Like, nah, that ain't the case 30 to 40. I woke
heard
up
that.
my first day of my 40s, and I was like, hold on, wait a minute.
I hear that a lot.
Jesus. Help me get out this bed.
You know,
No.
what's actually crazy about that, we was all hanging out last weekend, and my son, he's, like I said, he's going to be 2 in February, but he'll fall over, and when he get up, he goes, ugh. Like, he grunting, and I'm like, nah, I got to get in shape, because I know he learning that from me. Every time he falls, he's just, ugh.
Making him an old man sound.
Yeah.
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 I'm telling the devil, get out his way. What you doing?
I hope so. I hope that's what he's doing. So 12 and 8, do you get them fighting a lot? Do they get along? Or they?
You know, they do bicker. I mean, they're going to.
Yeah.
But those two are inseparable. They both have bunk beds in the room. It's crazy. They both have their own room, but they have bunk beds. And I always find my daughter going into her brother's room. She's tough. She's a little thing, but she's tough. I mean, greatest story I have in them was like a Christmas. And they're all coming downstairs and opening up toys, having a great day. One of my best friends, he always comes over for Christmas with us. He hadn't started his family yet. So we're like, yeah, come be a part of the family. We're all on the couch after a long night of drinking and assembling toys. Half of them don't work, half of them broke. Somebody forgot the batteries. Everything's wrong, right? But we're having a good time. They're going upstairs. She went up 2 stairs. He did something that caused her to react. And she turned around. And when I say it was the cleanest punch I've seen in my life, I couldn't believe it. And just lit his chest up. I felt so bad for the boy. Because I'm like, dog, are you all right? But in my other side, I was like, yes, it's him. They do, but they don't. Like, they'll take up for each other. Even against me and my wife, they'll sit there and they'll try and.
Yeah, they got an alliance.
Yeah, they got an alliance. That's why we didn't have more than 2 kids. I'm keeping the power in my house. One of y'all would have to go. Yeah. Like, no. You ain't gonna get outvoted in this house. It's not happening.
Do you how close they are? Like you said, they're inseparable. Do you kind of promote that, or is that something that they've kind of just as siblings have grown to do, or is it something that you as a father kind of say like, I want my kids to be close?
I require it.
Okay.
They're already close, so I don't have to push it,
Yeah.
but I don't allow them to not be close.
Got it.
When the arguments happen, I make sure the apology is swift.
Got it.
I make sure it's even. They have both. There's been a time when, something get broke in your house, something wrong, somebody doesn't want to fess up for it. I'm like, look, y'all a unit. I'm going to tell you right now.
Right.
You will both get a whooping right now if I don't get the honest truth from one of you two.
Got it.
Yeah, that whooping happened collectively.
Yeah.
I've never had that issue again.
Yeah.
And then when one finally fessed up to it, immediately, without paying who did what, immediately went and apologized to the other to make it right.
Right.
And then I had to sit them both down and explain to them the importance of have each other's back. Don't throw somebody under the bus for no reason.
Got it.
I mean, there is never a reason to throw somebody under the bus. You always need to be accountable for your actions.
Right.
Just as a person.
Yeah.
So it was a great lesson learned. That was a little while ago. But
Okay.
yeah. I rule my house with an iron fist.
Yeah.
I heard that.
I'm telling you. Hey, I grew up on whoopings. I mean, I saw Roots and I was like, yo, that's my life.
That's crazy. That's crazy. You're like, Mom, look at you.
I was like, man, if I bring home an F on the support card, she's
Yeah.
gonna cut my foot off. What's
Yeah.
going on? But
Okay, I got another question then.
yeah.
With that being said, you know, do you find yourself, I know in that story you kind of mentioned that they're a unit, but girl, boy, one's older, one's younger. Do you find yourself in that middle ground of like, I do have to do certain things, handle you a certain way, and I got to handle you a certain way based off of, gender?
Definitely. So I do believe in spanking. I know somebody out there in TV land is gonna be mad about that. Clothes on, open hands, swat on the back. But I have to deal with my son different than how I deal with my daughter. Because no man on this planet will ever touch my daughter.
Yeah.
So I need to make sure she knows what the reason is, what's going on, and what's happening. And it is very rare. It is not like, man, it's Tuesday, it's whooping time.
Yeah,
It ain't nothing like that.
Yeah.
But my kids are smart. Once that correction happens, they know that, okay, if I push that button again, that can happen.
Right.
The thing I do different, and like I said, I was brought up on spankings. And in a lot of black households, this is something that I've noticed doesn't really happen. I might whoop my kids. And again, the way I'm saying it makes it sound like it happens, it does not happen all the time.
Yeah.
It's a rare occasion. Even when I discipline my kids, when I fuss at my kids, I am the first one to tell my kids I love them. I'm the first one to go get them, hug them, sit them down, and talk to them. And I explain to them what took them down that road, why we can't do that. And I don't do that conversation. Oh, it hurts me more than it hurts you. I explain to them how hard it is for me to do that, but why it is important that I do that. So it's not just something that happens. I mean, you used to get whooped, go to bed, and go cry it out, and wake up the next morning and still sniffling.
Right.
I just want some toast.
Yeah.
But them, I mean, one thing I always say about my son, he has a very big forgiving heart, but he doesn't hold on to stuff.
Got it.
You get whooped, and you are mad for the rest of the day. You're mad at everything. You're kicking stuff. You're just mad that it happened. You want to go outside and play and be done with it. My son, he gets in trouble. He gets whooped. Something happened, and his recovery time is like, did I do anything? Like, what happened? But I know the lesson is learned. I can always tell by how he responds to me after that happens. So I know there's value in it. But the conversation we have over it later is so much more. It's almost like it's that attention getter.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay, you listen. Let's talk about this, so we don't have to keep talking about this.
Yeah.
But he's also a boy, so we always have to keep talking about it.
So, from what you said though, it makes me feel like is he just innately like this, or do you feel like he's kind of, I don't know, maybe the word is more mature than the average 12-year-old? Because I know when I was 12, like you said, it was I'm not getting over it that fast.
My son is exactly how I am, how I was, and it's almost like God has given me the opportunity to raise myself and to make the improvements on myself I wish I had embedded in me. I have never, either one of my kids, the baby talk was never a thing. I never allowed the little kid talk. Even now, my daughter's getting 8, and you see stuff on TV, and she's like, no, we don't do that. You talk to me like a person. So I've always given him that respect with boundaries. He is more mature at a lot of things. You bring him in here, we keep a book in his hand. He'll run through some history, and you'll be like, whoa, I didn't even know about that. There's times he's coming up telling me stuff. I'm like, okay, hold up, back up. You're surpassing me on a couple things, right? Don't educate me. But he is very aware of who he is and the space he's in this world. The conversations have always been real. I've already talked to my son about sex, because keep it real, what grade were you when you heard about vaginas?
Yeah. Middle school.
Right.
Elementary
Yeah,
school,
for sure.
probably.
Right.
Heard about
So-
it.
Fifth,
Elementary
sixth
school,
grade.
Yeah, I've always been on my kids' campus. I've always been a part of their school. I've always had relationships with their teachers. Relationships, not relations. But I'll hear, keeping my finger on the pulse, I'll hear what the kids are talking about.
Yeah.
So come 4th, 5th grade, and I'm hearing stuff, and I'm seeing jokes made. Cause
It's
you know
wild.
what people are
It's
talking
wild.
about.
Yeah.
It's wild. Yeah.
I'll take them. I'm like, yo, hey, let's go have a conversation. Let's go talk. And we do have that. And it's not one of those, hey, is there something you want to talk to me about? Because when you do that, you're giving him an out. You know he has something he wants to talk to you about. He might not want to talk about it right now, so he'll make it about something else.
Right.
No. I'm going to confront him with it, because if I heard it, if I see it, you probably see it all the time.
Right.
That's what this is. That's what this brings. We will get more in depth with it as you get older. But if you have questions, I want you to ask me. I've never not answered a question. My kids have asked questions. I'm like, oh, man, here we go.
Yeah.
So I make sure that when they want the answers, they're able to get them from the source.
Yeah.
I don't want them to, man, my dad would never talk to me about
Yeah.
that. My dad wasn't talking to me about no, and
Right.
my mom talked to me about that stuff before my dad ever did, you know.
And I do want you to touch on your relationship with your father.
Yeah.
And how that either
How it shaped you.
Yeah, how it shaped you to be who you are today as a father, or not shaped you.
Yeah. So, my father's a great man. My father's been in my life my whole life. I was born out of wedlock. I was at my parents' wedding, and I'm named after him as my son is named after me, which I consider greatness. I didn't name my son after me. I named my son after my father, because he is just amazing. My dad's the guy that everybody calls when they need help with something. Something needs to get fixed. My dad's the guy they call. You just need to get your mind off stuff. My dad's the guy everybody goes see. When I was growing up, I never knew that we were poor. And I hear a lot of people saying that. I legit didn't know we were poor until I went back and looked like, yo, we was living there? Like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. My father, his dad passed real early. And he was, God, he had so many siblings. I want to say 10. And if I say that wrong, he's probably going to kill me about it. But I want to say like 10. He was one of the youngest ones. And his father was crippled. But his father was like him. He was the handyman of the neighborhood. Everybody went to him. My dad came from Detroit, Michigan. And his dad was like a civil rights leader out there. He was trying to do different things. But once he had a bad accident, became crippled, couldn't do too much. So my dad became the right hand. That's how my dad learned how to work on everything, fix everything. And he taught me not about everything, but everything can be fixed. Take your time. Go through your steps. Lay it out. Look at it. If it's not making sense, walk away from it for a minute. Take a breath. All right, get back to it. His relationship with me was good. The discipline was good. But I could always tell, like we've had talks as adults, and he said I was doing the best I could with what I had as far as what I learned from my father, because all the other stuff he learned was from his older brothers. And, I mean, they were tyrants. Like if you go to Michigan and drop the name Taylor, I mean, there might be warrants just popping out like, yo. So, yeah, my relationship with my dad is one of my best friends, definitely. I don't want to say he's my best friend, because when you pigeonhole that, people like, oh, that's offensive. No, but he is truly one of my greatest inspirations. Like, this is gonna sound real weird, but at his funeral, oh yeah, that mic gonna be hot. A lot of people gonna be there when that day comes. I mean, we don't ever want to think about it, but it's a reality. Yeah. It's the one thing we're all guaranteed in life, right? We all gonna be there one day.
Right.
I already know his. Man, I remember that one time, car broke down. 2 hours from home, called Rich. Rich came over and fixed the water heater with a stick of bubble gum. I'm like, God, all right, Dad, how you do that? You know, he's amazing. He just retired a couple years ago. He worked for JPL. So my dad was a jarhead. He was a Marine, and came out in cryogenics. Great quick story. I'm sorry. We went one time. God, it's probably 10 years ago. I went with them, and they were buying a Mercedes. We sit down in the financing guy's office, and you know, they ask you what you do, and my dad read off this title, and I swear I went and had a lunch and came back while he was still reading this title off, and the dude was like, I'm just gonna put down amazing. Dang. My father, my relationship with my father was a true blessing in my life. I can definitely say that.
That's great to hear. For
Yeah,
real.
for
Bro,
real.
what an endorsement. That was
Absolutely.
Yeah, 'cause
That's because he's big, though. Let me say something foul, he's gonna go upside my head. I ain't stupid. Pick me up and throw me. My dad is strong as an ox. I'm taller than him, but he lets me know he'll knock me down in a minute. I'm like, okay, bro. I'm just gonna run around in circles and let you try and catch me.
No, I really love to hear it because, I mean, I speak from my experience. Most of my friends don't know their dads or have bad relationships with their dads. So to hear that black men being like he's your inspiration, you named your son after him, not even after yourself. Just that speaks volumes.
Yeah,
Real.
absolutely.
Yeah. It's a big deal, very big deal in my life. So I definitely know my blessings with that. But that's not to discredit my mom either. That's a whole nother book. That woman, my God, we like argue like every 6 months is a good knockdown drag out about something. But when I tell you I go to hell and back 4 times to get that woman a cup of tea, yeah, that's my heart. Nobody loves my mom more than I love my mom. That goes to my little brother too. I check him on that. Nobody loves my mom more than I love my mom. I've had to defend my mom's name in many rooms where she wasn't, and folks know like, okay, we ain't saying nothing about her when she ain't around, when he in the room, because I go hard.
Yeah.
I just, my parents have always been good to me. You know, like I said, we didn't come up from money. You know, all my experiences, all my memories are great.
Yeah.
I have nothing bad to say. And it wasn't, it was not the silver spoon lifestyle. Mom came from Palm Springs. So her family originally was Mississippi, came out to Palm Springs. If you guys get a chance to look up Section 14, they talk about how they displaced black folks that were in a rural area, burned their stuff down and put them on the north side of Palm Springs. Y'all know Palm Springs had a ghetto, right?
I didn't.
Nah?
I didn't.
I
And I've been, I didn't.
Oh, yeah. Gateway. Gateway Crips. Oh, yeah. First time I saw a Crip walking, I was in Palm Springs. Like, what are they doing? What is this? Half of my cousins was like, okay, we just jump around. Yeah. No, real talk. In fact, it's right. Take that 111 in, right before you get to that tramway, that first left turn you can make. They've developed it now, but 20 years ago, it was just this little pocket of black folks. And I mean, that's why I got my hardest street education, because I would always be out there living with my grandmother, not living, but staying on weekends when, you know, childcare wasn't there, or just being with her. And she was another great chapter too. But I got to see the zombies. Wake up in the morning, 8, 9 o'clock, go sit outside, and you got folks, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you know. They coming up, and I'm like, okay. That's one thing that steered my life and kept me from drugs. Seeing that at an early age and seeing what's going on. But it also let me see the humanity in things, because her family, big too, brothers and sisters like crazy. Everybody knew the Mayfields. They be out there and I'd see those zombies, and in your head you be like, okay, stay away from that. Don't talk to that. My aunts and uncles come out. Hey, Jimmy, what's going on? They have a full conversation. I'm like, this man is little. His pants is falling. What's going on? Why are we talking to this guy? And then they start breaking down the relationships, how they knew those people. And then I started learning, you talk to everybody. You know, so through my mom, the mouthpiece came. I learned how to really deal with folks and explore minds and thoughts, but also let you experience me. Like anybody that meets either of my parents, they never forget them. People who've met me that met my parents once, they was like, how your parents do? You so cool, yada, yada, yada. My dad is the coolest guy. Like, drive his little vet, hop out, slow motion walk. Like, that ain't no music playing. Why you walking slow?
Not the slow motion.
Yeah.
walk.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Well, I want to kind of segue off of that, especially with your pops. With that being said, I know you said he's one of your best friends, but coming from you as a father and a husband and all that stuff, who do you kind of like confide in, or your group of people outside of maybe your parents that you look for advice or information or just to bounce stuff off of, you know, for yourself outside of your parents?
Yeah.
Group
My
of
wife.
friend.
No, my wife, hands down.
Yeah.
My wife is my best friend. Like I said, when I say I have best friends, I do, and everybody's in a club. But as a friend, my wife knows everything about me. I have not kept anything. There's no deepest, darkest secret. There's no random girlfriend's gonna pop up. Like what? My wife knows everything. And when I say my best friend, like, yeah, we will go to war together. I think that has been what helped us last so long, is the friendship. I think a lot of people get into relationships and they forget, first of all, God first. I'm not sure where everybody stands and sits with that. I'll say
Right. Yeah. We
Yeah.
all there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some folks get offended. I just give them a hug and tell them about Jesus.
Yeah.
But God first. But between me and her, it's a friendship. We've been through so much and experienced so much. If this didn't work, I'm never getting married again because I'm never going through that stuff again. You know, that's who I confide in. That's who I cry with. That's who I cry on. That's who I lean on when I need strength. The stuff we've been through, our own testimonies are enough. That's really it. I've learned, and I tell everybody, I say it at every wedding, keep your problems in your house. Your issues stay under your roof, okay? You don't need to go take it to your parents. You don't need to go take it to your brother. Now, granted, every once in a while, you let them peek in, you tell them what's up. Sometimes you do need to go talk to them. But, like Jay-Z said it, I don't care if the house is burning. We ain't leaving. We dealing with this, and that's what we do. There will be a lot of times me and her might be at each other's neck, and you would never know it. Like, for real, you would never know it. And that's not masking it. We're going to put that on pause. We're going to enjoy this moment. After this moment, we getting back to that, and we're going to talk about it then. But it takes the right partner to be able to do that. That's not something that you can just do with anybody. Yeah. Some people just want to be in the drama.
Right.
Some people just want to, sit there and constantly grind and yell and fuss and cuss. That's why you got to be selective on who you pick, who God makes for you. Yeah. So
that's real. And I have a follow-up question on, you said that's your best friend. Was there any point where you felt like, because you said you've been together 21 years, you got a 12 and 8-year-old. When you guys had kids, was there a shift in you guys' relationship where the dynamic, maybe, because I've heard from other men that like when they have their kids, they kind of start feeling distance from their partner.
Yeah.
Did that ever happen to you in any situation, or?
We didn't allow it. Me and her were before these kids. And when we launch these kids off, we're going to be after these kids. Those kids wouldn't be without us. They are a part of what we built, and we'll let them be the moon and rotate around our earth. Observe, absorb, take everything in. But no, not to speak on anybody's situation, but a lot of people, I hear that, oh man, we had the kids and things stopped. Man, no, why? Why did they stop? We vacation with the kids. We go out with the kids. We just took our son to a jazz concert earlier in the year. We go, we do. My kids do so much, and they don't even realize how much they do. But there's never really a point to where, unless we're doing it like a nightclub or something, where we got to go drop them off. They're with us 24/7. But mommy and daddy are always here. Yeah. We try and make sure we stay that example to them. Because I think a lot of people forget the priority of things, and they forget you have to put certain things on a pedestal. I want my son to see me elevating my wife. I want my daughter to know what it looks like for a man to support you and back you.
Right.
I want my kids to know what it looks like when you have a partner and you build together. I don't want them to sit there and man, does this guy love me? I love you, okay? If he ain't doing more than I'm doing for you, you know what I mean? If he ain't willing to do half the stuff I did, no. You're never gonna come to my daughter and run game on her. I've taken her everywhere. I've shown her everything. I bought her everything. I've showed her how to make her own, how to build her own. And we are. I mean, that's just pimp. That's just pimp talk right there. These dudes come out for the pretty girls and they show them the things they've never seen because some of these kids are sheltered. No, every Christmas my kids are at the toy drive handing out toys. I take them to the areas with the homeless. Like, yeah. In fact, my son, when he acts up, like, keep screwing around. You want to mess around with them grades? I'm going to put you right out there with a cardboard sign next to Jorge right there. My man hopping on one leg. Right. I'm like, right. I'm like, drop your window. You look like a size 8. Give him your shit because you ain't using it, you know. But I don't shield my kids. I show them every aspect of life. I want them to see our relationship. We all go to church. We all pray together. In the morning, we pray before they get out the car. When we sit at the table, we pray. It doesn't matter. And it's not just head of the household praying. Them kids get elected. My 8-year-old, man, I'm talking about a praying little girl. We'll be sitting there cold. Food is just cold. I'm like, man, I've been working on these ribeyes, and all right, now keep it on going. No, I put them in everything, but that's the best way. That's how they see it. That's how they become a true product of their environment. You know, so
They're getting a good head start. That way.
for sure.
hopefully, all of our lives are an experiment.
Yeah.
And we just hoping we're gonna get the right
sure.
result. At the
Yeah,
end. We don't
yeah,
know.
absolutely.
We'll see. Catch me in like 10 years if I'm like, man, this kid, man, I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Now, this perspective that you have on life in general, it seems very intentional with everything that you do. Do you feel like this was instilled in you from your parents, or did you develop this as you got older? Like, where does this come from? Because listening to you talk, I kind of feel like I don't know. I'm amazed at the things that you're saying right now. Just
It's the structure, right?
yeah, the structure and how intentional you are about it.
You know, I ran to my elders, and a lot of these kids don't get that. My grandmother, both of my grandmothers, I mean, great inspiration. I never got to meet either one of my grandfathers. I only heard the stories. My aunts and my uncles, and I have a wide spectrum of aunts and uncles. In fact, let me shout one out that is extremely important to me. I'm gonna say his name. He's probably gonna knock me out about it. No, I'm not.
He know who.
But
it is.
yeah, he know who he is. One of my favorite, most fun uncles in the world got caught in that life, out there chasing that weed. And he was out in the streets for a while, and I got to see firsthand what that did to his family. And that was a great teaching lesson to me. Like, I would never put my family through that. On the flip, did a little time, straightened up, got clean, and came out. And it's just been an amazing example of a father, a grandfather, a hardworking man. I don't know anybody. I mean, him and my dad are some of the hardest working people on the planet. I can't say enough. But paying attention to the mistakes of all of my elders, all of them, kept me out of a lot of trouble. I mean, I could have been in any kind of trouble I wanted to be. Anybody that knows me knows I was always close to, some kind of stuff. There's always stuff out there. I've never, and this is me. This was my thing. I've never smoked weed. It's just not my thing. You know what I mean? I drink. I put anybody on the table. I'll tell you right now, hands down. Everybody knows. So many people gone broke trying to get me drunk. But I don't even get drunk. I don't like not having, and I'm not a control freak. I just don't not like having control, because I'm always worried if a situation happens and I can't respond correctly, it would bug me. But I'm fun. I have fun all the time. So my wisdom definitely came from paying attention to the mistakes of my elders. I lost one of my favorite cousins early in life. I was 13. Never forget it. He got killed in Michigan. Long, crazy story. Nobody really says what really happened. But I knew how he was living. And he was doing a little cripping out here on the West Coast. Went Midwest, and whatever happened. That was, when he died, was right at the time when those decisions were being made. Roll this way. Ride with us. Come do these things. And I had to really step back and look at it. I'm like, first of all, do I have to? Do I need to? Is there a reason? And I always felt his presence in those decisions to not go that way. So I let that be. Like, I was a loner coming through junior high school. Probably up to about my junior year when quick rundown. Freshman, sophomore year, loner, okay? Not as tall as I am now, a little chunky, no swag, tripping on myself, right? Big old glasses on. Freshman, sophomore year, I also started playing basketball and football. I made the team both times, boom, cool. Didn't know what I was doing. Didn't know nothing. Playing basketball, I had these little Daisy Duke shorts on because I never sagged. Because my mom was the one, she threatened me. I come to school, you sagging. Like, oh, God. So I was hyped up, and them things was up here, like my drawers was hanging. I'm like, okay, we got to figure this out. But strength of my body, built my confidence. I was dunking in my freshman year. In my freshman year, my drill was get under the hoop, jump up, grab the rim, jump back down. I was rebounding over our senior center, who actually was like one of my cousins. So that was. But shaped my body, built my confidence, started learning who I was. Left sports sophomore year because I was not good. Just keep it real. I was not good. I didn't know structure. I could play street ball, kind of, but structured ball, I just wasn't paying attention. That was probably my early ADHD. I was like, nah, what play? Okay. Junior year comes along, I get a job. I have, what's first? I'm sorry. Let me make sure I'm saying it right. I had a job working at a restaurant. I'm trying my best not to put stuff out there, being calculated. Had a job working at a restaurant from the area we grew up in, very well-known restaurant. Let me see different walks of life. After I got that job, I got approached and I started working at a skating rink. As I'm working at that job, I got approached for a seasonal position. I'm working in the mall. So I'm selling leather coats in the mall, which was dope. Working at a restaurant, getting tips, busting tables, which was cool, because I was the only brother in there. So when black folks come in, they're like, oh. And then I'm working at the skating rink. So put those together. I'm at a leather store in the mall, holiday time. All the bad older women coming in looking for them little lambskin jackets, them little leather. You know, you might look good in that little short skirt. I was forced to start talking to women. And then I learned how to start talking to older women. Then I'm at the restaurant. I'm learning how to hustle. And literally all three of these jobs at the same time. I'm hustling, I'm grinding, I'm moving, I'm making. I got some of the best work ethic from the owner of that place, who I owe so much to, because he taught me a lot. It just got me right in life. Then I'm at the skating rink. That's like the nightclub when you're in high school, right? Oh yeah, that's where the swag in the game came from. My first couple months working there, I'm sweeping and doing all the nasty stuff. Then I make it onto the floor and your boy can skate. I'm on the blades. I'm doing my thing, right? So, man, it's hard when you're a floor ref. It's like, hey, will you couple skate with me, girl? You know I got to get this backward skate on. Calm down. So those last 2 years helped shape me. And then I was running 2 clubs on campus. I did summer school every year, so I was able to graduate. Like my senior year, I only had like half a day. So the other half of my day I was working, and then I was going to the community college, taking community college courses. I was already accepted into the school beginning of my junior year because I went on-site admissions. So I knew what I was doing. I was busy. Bought my first car. My mom was like, hey, you got a little bit saved up? Let's go to the auction, get this beater, which we did, and I'll give you half. Okay, cool. And then when your tax return, you can give me that half back. Like, oh, okay. So I bought my own car. Got you. Would happen, and it worked, but I'm grateful for that, you know. But then you're the only friend with the car.
Right.
Man, my life was busy. So I've always been that person that's always moving, running, going. I never really sit down too long, you know. Like yourselves, entrepreneurs. You know what it is. You just got to keep it going. No rest. Why? Give me 4 hours of sleep and I'm good.
Right.
Non-stop.
Right?
Yeah, pretty much. What I like about the way you talk about your experiences, it feels like you're always taking something from it. You're never just going through the motions. There's something to be learned no matter what it is that you're doing. Mm-hmm. I think that's really impressive.
It's kept me safe. It's allowed me, like I live vicariously through so many different people. Right. There's so many different things I have not had to experience because I've paid attention to what they've done and what they've gone through. So you're right, I do. I take something from every person I meet, especially in my profession. When I was, wait, did we even talk about what I do?
No, I wanted to get into that.
Oh, my bad.
Next.
Okay. Well,
but
let me finish this one up. Even in my profession, everybody I would meet, there was value. Mm-hmm. There's value in every meeting. You figure God gave us the ability to have choice. He gave us the ability to have experiences. I want to experience everybody. I don't want to dismiss anybody. I tell my son all the time, like, hey, when you get ready and you go out, you don't know if you're going to meet your next girlfriend today. You don't know if you're going to meet your next boss today. You know, you might meet your new best friend today. Why go out halfway? Take a little time, clean yourself up, get ready, get out. See these waves? We'll put that do-rag on. You know what I mean? Get ready. Sorry, though, but we got to bring attention to these waves. I don't care what's going on. There might be waves and tsunamis up there. Somebody better tell Korea it's going down. But, so my profession, I'm in law enforcement. I was a patrol officer for about 5 years. Before that, after all those jobs I worked, I went to college. I went to Cal State University, and I worked full time at Costco. I did Costco for 13 years. That was a hell of an experience. You want to talk about gaining more work ethic? If I didn't do that first restaurant job and learn that, I wouldn't have been successful at that. But it became a point where I knew if I was going to make that step into management and make this my life, I had to really dedicate everything to it. And I never forget, I was working. Let's get naked. I'm going to get naked real quick. I'm going to get a little naked. I'm clothes to stand on, but I'm just saying, yeah, right? Pause. They're like, oh, wait, hold on there. Y'all welcome. Right? As men, we have times when we get broken, okay? I went into work. My job would start at 5 a.m. I was supervising the gas station. And it was just a day. We had just had our firstborn. I think he was sick. My wife was stressed. I'm trying to hold it together. And I think I walked into the bosses fussing. And of course, you know, you the one that walked in. It's your problem. You the problem. And I couldn't handle it that day. So I walked out. The gas station is separate from the building. And never forget, man, I hit my knees. They have a little hut. Turned everything on, did my job, got everything going. And, man, I hit my knees and started bawling. Like you would have thought somebody stole my bike. I just started bawling. Crying. And that was the flesh. It was about 2 solid minutes of crying. And I recognize that as a gift because at that gas station, people come up there and need stuff. I got that solid 2 minutes to myself, no interruptions, to get that out. And after that 2 minutes of crying, I'm like, why am I here by myself? My father is here. That crying turned into praying. That praying got strong. That day wound up being a great day. Then I made the decision, I gotta go. And I knew there was things I wanted to do. The Lord had brought different brothers into my life that I didn't know were in law enforcement and they weren't in fire. And I'm talking to them. And when I see and recognize how cool they were, and then later it's like, oh yeah, this is what I do. I'm like, yo, I can do that and still be me? They're like, oh no, you be great at this because of who you are. Let's check that path out. Then I looked and the money was good. I'm like, oh yeah, let's really check that path out. So that's a whole long convoluted story in itself. But crying those tears, making that prayer, God brought it to me, went in law enforcement. First department I applied to was the first one I worked at. I only put in one application. A lot of people put in a lot. And my procrastinating butt, I put in the application on the last day of the application, had to drive it in and turn it in. And this is down in LA County, so it wasn't like an easy thing.
Right.
Because I was still, I'm like, is this really what I want to do? Like, this is it, really? So, did it, turned it in, got into it. So, as an officer, you have to play the game, period. I don't care what nobody says. Starting off, you got to play the game. You got to go through your academy. You got to get out of the academy. Then you get in your training car. Your training car is where it's critical. You have to do what that training officer is telling you to do and how to do it for that time. That's tough. Another long story. So after going through all the training officers, and I'm kind of struggling a little bit because I already want to do it my way. But I'm learning I got to play this game. God has put me through another test. I got to play this game. As soon as I got out of the training car and turned into me, I was like, okay, it's time to be Mike Lowry. Like, I'm talking to everybody, right? And I worked in a beach city. So summertime came, oh, man, I had to get them high reflective sunglasses on. Ask her. I just started bringing my wife down like, listen, you got to come down here because these bars is popping at night. I want everybody to know who my wife is. I don't want nobody coming up giving me static. I don't want you worried about what I'm doing. Like, she was on my sleeve. I might as well put a big bumper sticker with her face on my forehead. I want everybody to know, like, it ain't going down. But you would talk to rich people. You would talk to transients. You would talk to people traveling from different countries. You would talk to people from inner city. And everybody had a different story. You had to deal with everybody a different way. And I think one of my greatest attributes, I'm able to talk to everybody on their level, but I prefer to talk to you starting on your level and bring you up to mine. Not saying that I'm above everybody. I'm just saying I like to make the conversation feel like it's up there. If I'm talking to you, you homeless, you got your little dog there, when I walk away, man, I want you to feel like a king because I want you to turn your life around. If I don't have to put these click-clacks on you, you're going to remember, you know. So if I ever come around, I would get compliance because I showed respect at a time, you know. Even, you know, get little Nazi dudes coming around, want to spit on me, talk all kind of mess, but I still handled myself well. And that respect was still translated from how they would act with me.
Sure.
I got the reputation of being an officer that, you know, I'll talk them into cuffs. I'll never forget one thing I did. We had a guy who was binging hard on alcohol, and his wife had got a restraining order, kicked him out of the house. He ran away from a rehab clinic, went into his house. When the call first came out, I was on a different call, about 3 or 4 different officers trying to get this guy out. And we're like, man, we about to go hands-on to drag this dude out. Family there, daughter's crying, wife is like, ugh. And I walk up to it and I'm looking who's there, and I'm like, okay, it's some of our senior officers, and they know what they're doing. But again, sometimes guys just put his hand on your shoulder like, hey, try it. Okay. So I go walk in, have this conversation with the dude. I talk to him about 10, 15 minutes. And the talk with him, of him refusing to leave, I flip it all back on him. So you're coming back for your family, but you're pushing your family away. I walk in here, I see a wall full of pictures, beautiful faces smiling, and you got them all crying right now. Like, let's show them that you want to help them. Come out with me. I said, listen, I even give you this respect. I got to take you to the hospital because you're overly intoxicated. I have to commit you because you're a danger to yourself and others. But I can roll with you the whole time, and I can bring you out of here with your dignity. We can put these cuffs on you. We can put a jacket on the back, cover your hands. I'll let you say bye to your family, and we get out of here. I said, but we got to go. This ain't going to get good. This is going to keep getting worse. And yeah, he got up and he went. And I never forget, one of my senior officers, he was like, dude, what did you say? Like, how did you do that? And to me, I was like, I just talked to him. You know, I just did. So, like you said, I take something from every situation. I learned, even from that one, I would never put my family through that. Like I said, I don't smoke, but I'll drink. But I can count on one hand how many times I've been drunk, and my kids have never seen me intoxicated, ever. You know, I don't get down like that. I make sure I'm responsible for everything I do in front of them at all times because I don't want them to have the bad memories. You know, I don't want to do that because I saw Dad do that. No, no. There's a way to control yourself. So,
well, there's a with that being said, kind of before we wrap it up.
My bad.
No, you're good. I want you to kind of maybe give what's one value you would give to everybody out there, or let me go more specific to fathers out there. What's one value that you would kind of spread across the world to tell all the dads?
Without going to church, the one thing God did to save everybody was created a son. He gave us his son, his only begotten son. You got to realize the power you have as a man is you have the ability to create that same thing. I think the greatest gift in life for a man is to create a family, to have a child, to have an offspring. I see myself and my daughter. I'm like, man, is this how it would have been if I was a girl? Then I look at my son. I'm like, dude, that's exactly how I am. So I get to deal with my past shortcomings through him and with him and help him go through those. But then I also get to, as a gentleman, teach my daughter what she needs to look for when she starts looking that way. Cherish fatherhood. Being a husband is its own ball of wax. And that's something, I mean, I love my wife.
Yeah.
I love our relationship. But I'm real. I'm not stupid. If it doesn't work, like I said, I'd never get married again. I don't think it won't ever work. I see us dying together. We're going to be buried this. She's stuck with me. But being a dad, I think a lot of young brothers are missing out on an opportunity because we all say we want to make a change, right? We want to change the world. Change their world. Put them where they need to be. You know, give them the opportunity. Be the launching pad. I've never labeled my son this, but there are different groups, and I have different groups of friends. And somehow they've all dubbed my son like, oh, you're going to be president. That's little Barack right there. You're going to be president. Because I want him to know, like, hey, you can be anything you want to be.
Right.
Don't limit yourself. Like, to me, that's the greatest gift Barack Obama gave all of us was we can actually be honest and tell our kids, hey, you can actually be president. Like, it's a real thing. Because before him, it wasn't. It was a joke. It was a laughing thing. So being a dad, take that time. Cherish every moment. Pray over them while you can because you don't know how long you got them and you don't know how long they got you. Make every moment special. Be the example at all times. When you're tired, get more tired. Show them that you're still grinding. You know, I'm sure your kids see it. Let them know. Like, there is no slow down in this thing called life. You might want to slow yourself down. That's fine. Life won't keep passing you by. You have the opportunity to show them what it is to be dad. And I think in our black community, a big issue that we have and that we're lacking is not just men in the household, because I'm seeing more brothers at home. I'm seeing more brothers with their kids. But like we said before, like my father, they didn't have good examples or they didn't have examples at all. So we're trying to figure it out. So brother to brother, if I'm tripping, hey, man, you need to do this with your kid, tell me. Hey, man, can I help you with that? Help me. You know, let's not look like, oh, man, look, somebody need to comb that kid's hair. We're just going to keep walking. Hey, bro, bring your hair early. I can help you. I'm sick with that. I got you. Let me show you what's up. Oh, okay, cool. We need to talk about fatherhood like we talk about the NFL. We need to talk about changing diapers like we talking about, end zone. And when you get into the conversation with other fathers and you pull that out of them, you don't realize how much we all want to talk about it because we all figuring it out.
Right.
Nobody got this thing mastered,
That's for sure.
So that's me. That's what I would drop.
That's good stuff.
My bad. I'm sorry.
No, you good, man. I'm sitting over here. I'm amazed. Like we talked about on another episode. I want you to be my mentor. I'm sitting,
Look, you ain't. Yeah.
I really believe that you were saying some things that are very valuable for not only myself, but
for men,
whoever,
for fathers. Yeah, absolutely.
No, I mean, the reality of it is, I love hip hop. I love music. I'm a big jazz head. And I make sure my son is a part of everything I love. But I want him to find his own stuff. But like, I'm sure we all know Kanye West, Mr. Yee. And as he's going through his emotional roller coaster, one time he was real big on God. And then he is God. And I'm like, okay, come on, whoa. Yeah. And then now it's like, now I'm a vulture. Now I'm just, okay, bro, hold on. Let me go back. I'm going to listen to these, right? We got too many young brothers that are hearing outside sources tell them, hey, you are God. I know that. God is in me. I know who I am. I know what it is. But when you have people who don't know you and don't know your culture, all y'all bigger than me, right? But I'm going to tell you right now, I am scared of not a single one of you. We will go toes. And even if I lose, you will walk away from the battle remembering a piece of me. I got a dread. Like, it's going down. But
That's great.
when you tell young brothers who have no real influence on their life, yeah, you're a God. You that God. You're automatically replacing their higher power in their head with them.
Yeah.
You can't. There has to be something above you. You have to be reaching for something. You can't just, I ain't. You a God because God said so, period. That's why he is the Almighty Father, right? So it's so many things that are being polluted into our young black men's lives that are being told to our young black men. I see more fathers taking their kids to sports facilities than I see taking them to Bible study. And that's not me I'm not a Bible father. We go Sundays and look.
Yeah.
We went to church last Sunday, and after that, we went to a pizza parlor and watched the Lions game. Like, hey man, we gotta go. We gotta go catch it. Like, we going. But if we were as passionate about building these young men up as we are about our music, our shoes, our clothes,
Our culture.
our cars, our culture it's a construct. It's not real. Our culture is this. The strongest thing we have is us as black men. We were always feared. We are the gorillas on the planet in a beautiful way. You know what I mean? And when people start, hey, yeah, you good. Let me give you this. Oh, damn. Got these new J's right here. Okay, well, I'm gonna walk this way. I'm gonna do this thing. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey, you can catch that ball pretty good. Let me give you this. Oh, well, everything is deviating us from building up our own. We shouldn't be cripping and blooding. We should be loving, right? And games don't even go down like that no more. But these kids are still divided. Isn't that kind of weird? You know what I mean? Like, nobody's trying to keep us together. We get together for concerts. We get together for church. And what we do, we leave and we go home. There's no real fellowship. Yeah. You know, we have good friends. It's always small numbers. We don't see like the big group of friends anymore, right? You go to college, you get there, and everybody leaves, and everybody does their own thing.
Right.
We need to keep the nucleus. We need to rely upon each other. We need to be able to check each other. We need to be able to have those real conversations. Fight for each other, you know? We sit there and crack jokes on everybody, but in the same sense, hey, dude, let me help you out with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Your pants is kind of high. I can get them hemmed for you. Something, you know. Help each other out. I wasn't saying that to you. Please don't knock me out.
You got one more, right?
You see, he was like, hold up, wait, what? But no, there's a lot against us, especially right now in this political climate. And our kids are about to start experiencing it. My son, my daughter already. Somebody called me the N-word. Somebody dealt with that. And I take the power out of that word immediately. I take that power away from that kid immediately. And we have to teach this to our new generation. We can't make it okay for somebody to go call you, hey, you know.
Right.
What? No. When I was at work, like, you would get hemmed up. Hey, yo, what's up, my, no, I'm not your nothing. What? Yeah, let's have this conversation, you know. And I'm not saying hemmed up. I wouldn't choke nobody. But we would have the real talk, and that fear would be in the eye. I was like,
yeah.
Oh, he not cool with it. No, I'm not cool with it. No. So.
Man.
Real.
I told y'all I talk too much. I told y'all.
Yeah, we're going to have to save it for another episode.
Yeah, for sure.
I told y'all. Kick me out.
You was about to say something?
Nah.
Okay, he's about to knock me out.
with you.
Yeah, we got to cut it. We got another. You're gonna have to come back.
Yeah, for sure.
Anytime.
For sure.
Anytime. Let me know.
That's good. It's been another great episode. This is episode number 9 of the Fly Father Fraternity. Go check out the website, flyfatherfraternity.com. You see the anti-deadbeat
get
father
your merch,
club.
man.
Yep.
Get your merch.
We got everything you need, and we out.
Gone.